Well, it's been a while. Nice to see you guys again. And on my video back, I wanted to do something, a little bit of fun, all right? We're going to do some ranking today. We haven't done this in a while, and I decided that we should rank from my least favorite to my overall favorite, the Radiator Springs Townies. So we have all the images down there of all 13 townies, not including Stanley, unfortunately, because he is not a living character in the movie, but hey, we still love Stanley. And I did include Lightning McQueen because during the movie, in the first one, he eventually became a townie, so that's why we have him included. And we'll also explain why I prefer such and such character over the other as I start ranking them, and I think there's one that's already going to be obvious. Mr. Sheriff right here. I have to do this out of order. Let me put Sheriff on my overall favorite just because I always see him as that officer of the town. Just super chill. He knows when it has to be serious, okay? Whenever let's say the delinquents, DJ, Wingo, Snot Rod, and Boost, they zoom past him, he already knows there's no games to play. We're going to get these guys to the justice that they deserve. And whenever he has to, at least have some fun, show humor, I feel like he does show it. He is not a dirty cop. He is not a dry cop. He is one who does have humor. He laughs. So that's why he's my overall favorite. And of course, a little bias here. He's the icon of the channel. All right, but now we're going to go in order from left to right, and we have all the way on the left, we have Lizzie. Lizzie. All right, that's going to be real, okay? I am going to put her not in my least favorite, but I am going to put her in the C tier. Why? Well, honestly, it's just like, I don't relate to her so much. Like, when I watch the movie and I see her character, she's a nice one, okay? She's a nice character and all, but it's not relatable to me. And sometimes when she says one of the most silly things, yes, I know she is representing an old woman, but it's just like, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Even when I look back into some of the clips, especially when McQueen was connected to Bessie and he was talking to himself. As a matter of fact, you know what? Instead of just me explaining the clip, just roll it.
Turn right to go left. Guess what? I tried it. And you know what? This crazy thing happened. I went right.
You keep talking to yourself. People think you're crazy.
Thanks for the tip.
What? I wasn't talking to you.
Lizzie telling Lightning McQueen that people will think that he is crazy, talking to himself. And that's exactly what she was doing herself. It's, at this moment, when I'm older now, it's kind of cringy. Doc Hudson, overall favorite. That's only supposed to be one car, okay? I'm going to put him right here in the A. He's going to be a top A. A lot of the advice that he has given to Lightning McQueen, and even, let's say, to probably some of us, we might even take the advice ourselves, is very wise. He's kind of like that grandpa car. Yes, he is old. I can't relate to him much, but the wisdom that he has, the wisdom that he shares, that is what's valuable. I mean, he even taught me, okay, when he told Lightning McQueen that the Piston Cup is just an empty cup, it taught me that, hey, there are more important things in life to worry about rather than just getting recognition, fame, or an award for everything. And I love how he told Lightning McQueen his story and his past, especially when he crashed, because then that made McQueen, right, think of other people, in this case, the King. When the King was crashed by Mr. Chick Hicks, McQueen had a heart to help out strip weathers, right? And I feel like Doc was just thinking about that moment, and he's like, wow, the thing that I didn't have somebody to help me finish the race. It was just them coming over and declaring, hey, that's it, your racing career is finished. That's why I respect Doc a lot, okay? Paul Newman, rest in peace. And that was a perfect man to play the character of Doc, in my opinion. That's why Doc deserves a high A, okay? He is not moving from that spot, okay? I'm keeping him there. Now we got Fillmore. Okay, Fillmore. Let's see. I am going to put him in the B tier. I'm not sure if he's going to be in high B tier or, low B tier, mid B tier. Reason being, it's just because, I don't relate to him too much, but what I love about him is that he's just super chill, okay? Sometimes he does yell, but it doesn't even feel like yelling, right? It's just super chill the way he is. And it's like he likes to make any negative situation be a positive one. And he calls everybody man. You know, that's his like favorite nickname to give every single person. He doesn't give insults to people. He just says man. And I'm just like, wow, that is showing that, A, I'm trying to not have any grudges, hold any grudges against people. I want to be a positive person, man. Fillmore, you got my respects right there. Now we head over to the first woman of the tier list, Flo. Actually, no, it's the second woman. Sorry, Lizzie. We have Flo. Okay, Flo, let's see. You are definitely going to be in the B tier. I'm just not entirely sure where. Probably near the middle because, okay, I don't want to sound mean here, but she's kind of a loud woman. She speaks. She's really nice, okay? She's really sweet. I could imagine her in real life as a real person. She'll be willing to serve you, right? That's her goal. That is what she does. Whenever a customer comes over to her VA cafe, she's willing to serve. But the only problem I have is that she's kind of loud, you know, sometimes. But there are some moments where she is quiet, okay, where she does tone it down a bit. That is my little thinking of Flo. I don't know where I'll put her, either here, next to Fillmore, on the right, or the high B tier. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll just keep her here for now. Guido, okay, let me just put him on the high A tier right after Doc, just because, man, I have so much respect for this little guy. People could look at him, right? I loved specifically the scene when they were at the tiebreaker race, right? And Guido, the pitties for Chick Hicks' team, right? They were making fun of him. They were saying, oh, he's so tiny. What do he thinks he's going to do? He thinks he's going to help McQueen, and then McQueen is going to win the race or something like that. And then this little guy right here, that little blue pitty, Guido from Radiator Springs, a town that nobody has ever went. Well, yeah, I lied right there. A town that has been forgotten. He proved to everybody that was watching him wrong. That little guy right there. Can you believe it? I love that. And from that scene, I just gained so much respect for Guido. And it made me just think of him as my favorite pitty overall. Not my overall favorite character, but my overall favorite pitty. Just because of that one moment. And everybody cheering him on at the end, all the teammates of the Lightning McQueen's team. I'm like, wow, Guido, you not only get my respects, but everybody else is happy with you. Lightning McQueen. Hoo. Okay. My question is this. Would I get hated if I put him right here on the B section, the high B section? He's the main character, okay? But that's not the reason why we should always put him on the high, higher tiers and stuff like that. But the reality is, McQueen thought too much of himself, right? Too much of himself. Thought he was like all that, okay? Especially when he was like, oh, I won the Piston Cup. There is no way. And then the tiebreaker race was announced. He's like, no. This cannot be. I stuck my tongue out. I was jumping without tires. I deserve that Piston Cup. It is mine. Until reality check was given. So actually, you know what? Let me forget that high B. I'm going to put him in the A tier. Because honestly, it's a lesson that we can all learn from Lightning McQueen, right? It's a lesson that we can all learn on the importance of, hey, there's more valuable things rather than just getting recognition, getting fame, or thinking highly of yourself. Important to have confidence, right? But it is more important to be willing to be there for others. That's what he learned in the first Cars movie, and I love that, right? That's what I loved. But he's not my favorite character, okay? He's not my overall favorite, or he's not my second favorite. Just the reason being because, one, the way he used to be, but also, I don't know. I was just like, I don't know. Maybe I kind of found it a little bit of annoying when he first saw Sally, and this man was super obsessed, and he made it obvious, okay? He made it obvious. He just met Sally, okay? And he's starting to make these comments towards Sally upon meeting her right in the courtroom. Very interesting setting, right? To start acting that way to the attorney. That is interesting, okay? And that is kind of weird. That's why I'm gonna put him right there, okay, on that section, wherever, however you describe it. And we're gonna go off now to Luigi, okay, my boy Luigi. I am gonna put him in the B tier, okay? I'm gonna put him a little bit above Fillmore. Actually, I'll put him right next to Flo, as a matter of fact. Why? Because I love his Italian accent, okay? I have respect for this man. I'm putting him here, reason being because I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like he was trying to force people or push people to get to his liking. I don't know, just the way I saw him when he was talking to Lightning, when Lightning was right there with Bessie and stuff like that. He asked McQueen, oh, do you know the Ferraris? Lightning McQueen explained no, but he's in the Piston Cup. And then Luigi, disappointed, right? He was mad. Luigi only follows the Ferraris. That's what he said at the end and just drove off. So did Guido, okay? So did Guido. We cannot say no to you, Guido, right there. I don't know. It felt like a little greedy, okay? It felt like a little greedy, and I don't know why. Even though he's not one who's like chasing after money or specifically chasing after the customers to only go to his place. I don't know. He has like a little sense of Mr. Krabs, in my opinion. Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Mater. Okay, I'm definitely putting you here into A, all right? And probably after McQueen. There were some moments that he did get a little bit annoying, but I have to put him in A because if it weren't for him, okay, if it weren't for the friendship that he was able to build with Lightning McQueen, I don't think Lightning McQueen would have changed at all from the way he was to the way he is now. Mater was the character that McQueen needed for him to learn the lesson. Yes, Doc was the one who gave him the advice of, hey, it's just an empty cup. But actually a friendship that could be valued, Mater is the one that has filled that spot in McQueen's life. That's what McQueen needed. He needed a friend. Sally, I am putting you right here above McQueen, okay? Above McQueen. Guido, I hope you don't get offended or any Guido lovers out there, but I'm actually going to put Sally right before Guido after Doc. Look, it's not because she's a beautiful car, okay? I love the blue color, but the reality, the way she is, okay? She met Lightning. Of course, they built up a friendship, blah, blah, this and that. And then before McQueen got caught by all these Radiator Springs, not Radiator Springs, these RSN Press people and the Piston Cup people, and he was brought back to where he had to be. What I just loved about Sally, when she fell in love with Lightning McQueen, something that I just realized is she is willing to go out of her way to support the one that she loves. That is what I loved. And even though she didn't go to the tiebreaker race in person, she stayed in the town. She watched it from the TV with Red and Lizzie, and I'm like, that is a real partner right there. We even fast forward to Cars 2. She went all of her way to be in Radiator Springs to go all the way to London, right? Where McQueen was at. That's far distance. And Cars 3 had to overall be my favorite in showing that Sally was there to support Lightning. When Lightning thought that his career was over after that crash, Sally was just trying to support him, encourage him. Hey, this is not your end and stuff like that. You could still race. That right there is the heart of a true partner. I am glad that Sally had that personality. And, well, who knows if there is a Cars 4, she might still have that personality. Let's hope. Now we have Sarge. Okay, Sarge, let me put you overall here in the high B tier over Fillmore. Sorry, Fillmore, you're pretty chill. But Sarge here, this man, I feel like he understands discipline. This man with discipline, I like it because, you know, he's serious when he has to be serious. There are some things I could actually relate to. Not that I served in the military. I never served in the military. But that he shows respect to his country, right? That's something that I found like a pretty nice detail. He was raising the American flag, right? And there he actually saluted as he raised it in the morning. That was beautiful. And then Fillmore had to ruin it with his music. So yes, Fillmore, that's why you deserve that spot you have right now. But yeah, what I love about Sarge is that he showed love to his country. Yes, this is an animated film, okay? Not real humans. It's cars with eyes and a mouth. But I don't know. It's just something that I love about Sarge. Something I love about Sarge. It should be expected, okay? He's a military vehicle, but I don't know. I just love it. It touches me. Now, Red... Okay, Red, I can't disrespect this boy. You know, I cannot disrespect this boy. You're going up right here on the B tier. You were a little bit more annoying than Mater because you cry all the time, okay? Even though you're a firefighter, okay? I never seen firefighters cry that much. Even for the small little things, it sounded like he was a kid. But Red here, I gotta respect this one, okay? Red, even if he cried a lot, right? He brought so much value to the town. He saves the town whenever there's a fire. We never seen a fire there, but what I loved is that he also he cleaned up Lightning McQueen. Okay, Lightning McQueen was dirty, full of cactus, and Sally got Red to clean him up. And Red was like, "Oh, okay, sure, let's do it." Even though he never spoke. Okay, he never spoke. He just smiled. He was sad, mad, whatever. Red knew how to get a job done. Okay, let's admit that he knew how to get a job done. Now Ramone. Ramone. Moments here. I'm going to put him after Fillmore, okay? Thinking about it, I'm going to put him after Fillmore. Sorry, Flo. Reason why I put Ramone after Fillmore, I don't know. For some reason, okay, I feel like Ramone thought he was like the overall best, okay? He thought highly of himself, and I mean really highly of himself. That's how I see him. But I 100% respect his talent. His talent in painting those cars, you know, painting Lightning McQueen whenever you had to go to a different race, especially in Cars 2, I would see those paint jobs. I'm like, wow, that is very talented. And bro, that would be nice if I could do that in real life. So maybe I see why he was the way he was, you know, pretty high thinking of himself. And he thought he was the best. Because yes, his paint jobs were awesome. But that's also a reason why I'm going to put him in the middle B tier. Just because I didn't like that aspect. That's the way I saw him. I'm not sure if you guys saw him that specific way. But yeah, this is my tier list. Sorry, Lizzie. But hey, at least you didn't get my least favorite. There might be a least favorite out there. Sorry, Stanley, because even though you're not a townie, you're not alive anymore. You really didn't do anything. You just stood there. You scared Lightning McQueen. Yeah, Stanley scared Lightning McQueen when, you know, we're not going to talk about that scene. But I'm not sure if this is what you expected from my side of the story, the angle. Let me know what you guys think, okay? Who is your favorite, your overall favorite Pixar Cars Radiator Springs Townie? Who was your least favorite? Let me know down below as well in the comments why, okay? Why would characters be in such category in your perspective? And if you want to try this little tier list out, have it linked down in the description. This is a custom one that I made. So feel free to go ahead, have fun, you know, rank your favorite characters from overall to least favorite one. And you can share your results. You know, you can make videos out of it if you want to. Feel free to use this tier list. Or you could just let me know the character order, your reasonings down in the comments. You know, now I'm just thinking, what should be the next type of tier list video?